So this is Dan of 𝗥𝗲𝗁𝗡, and today I have a guest star here. His name is Bobbie, and he's from the US, and he's taken early retirement, and he's just starting the process. He's enjoying himself, and we met online through 𝗥𝗲𝗁𝗡, and he sent an email, and I invited him to be a guest star. Bobbie, welcome to 𝗥𝗲𝗁𝗡.
I'm happy to finally meet you. I've watched all your stuff online. You've been very motivating for me, but to actually be able to sit with you in person here in Mexico and talk, it's absolutely awesome.
Yeah, well, it's nice to meet you. Bobbie has a real great attitude about life. It's been fun chatting with him, so I thought you guys would like to meet him too. But first I want to show you where we are. This is the ocean in front of us, just and as you can see, we're on a white sand beach, so all of the accoutrements of taking life easy.
This is the life right here.
Yeah. So we're in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, and it's already your second visit here this year, you said?
Actually, my second visit this year. My first time to Playa del Carmen was about 3 years ago.
Okay.
And yeah, I fell in love with the place. I decided to come back, and then I decided to move here.
Okay. And you, on this visit, how long have you been here?
I've been here 3 months. It'll actually 3 months. It was 3 months on November 31st, so a little over 3 months.
And you mentioned you're scuba diving down here.
Yeah. Well, that was actually the way it worked out. Is the last time I was out here scuba diving was about a month before I moved here with my cousin, and we had a great time. And the master diver with Ronnie's dive shop. Ronnie's awesome. But anyway, he said, you know what? As much as you like diving, you ought to go for. I had my open diving certification. I had my advanced. He said you might as well go for master diver. And so I talked to him about the finances and what's involved and how much time. And he said, well, if you're serious, man, and you really want to do it, you need to come out here for at least 2 months. Probably altogether, I've invested about $1,500 over the last 3 months.
In the diving
part.
And you're certified now?
I am. In fact, just this past week, I completed my rescue diver aspect of it, which was interesting and awesome. But so I'm officially certified. Everybody's coming here because it's one of the only places you can come, right?
Right. That's why we're here. I mean, we wanted to be in the Philippines right now, but this was the only place that I could fly without a lot of the problems or or test that stuff.
Right.
And so that's why
it's an easy place for an American to come still.
Yeah, and it's close by. It's great.
Very true.
So you're thinking of actually retiring here, though?
Well, the whole retirement thing is very recent. I actually, in my heart of hearts, I want to end up in either Thailand or the Philippines, but somewhere in Southeast Asia.
Right.
And of course, we couldn't really do that right now. It's starting to open up, but there's still quite a few stipulations that I'm not really able to do. So
yeah.
I don't know if I'll stay here long term. I think my life is going to be a little bit closer to your style of staying somewhere for a few months and then moving on to somewhere else.
Right. Keep your options open.
Eventually, I want to end up on a beach in Southeast Asia.
Okay. Is eventually, you think 2 years, 5 years?
Yeah. It could be much sooner. It really, to me, depends quite a bit on, when all these rules change and they allow us to come in without so many restrictions. I would probably be in Southeast Asia now. Now, that's not saying that Mexico is not awesome. This has actually afforded me the opportunity. And I want to see, after watching your videos and all the stories you've done about other places in Mexico, I don't want this to be the only place. In fact, Oaxaca is one of the places I really want to go now.
Yeah, that's where we came from, as you guys know. Yeah, I was going to ask you about it, about pricing, like why would you pick Playa del Carmen, because it's more expensive than other parts of Mexico, but it sounds like you're not really narrowing in on a home yet.
I'm really not, and as much as I like it here, Playa del Carmen mainly I chose for the scuba diving. For those who don't know it, the scuba diving here, and scuba divers are going to know this, with Cozumel and Isla Mujer, and right off of Playa del Carmen, the reef is amazing. Of course, the cenotes are unique to Mexico, and that's something you're not going to find in very few other parts of the world. So I've been diving in some amazing cenotes. I've done some deep dives. I've done, just the other day we did the bull shark dive.
Yeah, so Bobbie, it was the case for me too. I was kind of forced into retirement. because the contract I had was canceled. And so you're going through that too, I guess.
Similar deal, yeah. With the big hotel company I was with, we were furloughed, and they actually treated us pretty kindly. We actually did get a severance and so forth, and that's also helped. And then with the stimulus, that helped me also.
Right.
I did take advantage of that, and actually even on unemployment.
Unemployment
I did that for a bit too. So I worked the system.
Yeah.
I worked my proverbial butt off my whole life. I've taken unemployment. 30 years ago, my wife and I needed to when our kids were little for a short period.
Right.
But I've worked my whole life, so I've never been one to take advantage of the system. As much money as we've put into it, working.
Yeah, that's what why we pay taxes all those years, right? Yeah. So I mean, some people are worried about that. I don't think that's something to be worried about. I think the reason we pay taxes our whole life is so if something happens, it's there for us. So unemployment, yeah, that's great. This is Dan of Vagabond Awake. Please like this video, comment, or subscribe. Any of that would help our business. We'd sure appreciate it. Thanks so much. And so,
By the way, that's all in it now. I'm really down to my Social Security and a little bit of money that I put away for emergencies.
So you decided to take your Social Security early. So what was the calculus in that? What made you think of to make that jump?
Well, the calculus for a lot of people would not be logical, but then I've never been heavy on logic for what I do in life.
Okay.
But I raised my kids, I married and so forth. No longer single now and so forth. But I saw some motivational stuff online. Your stuff. I watched a lot of yours. There was another gentleman who did a whole scenario on retirement, and if you retired at 62, what would be the break-even point with the extra money you get after 65 or 66?
Right.
By the time you're 70, you'd break even.
Right.
So literally, it would take me about 7 years to break even on what I would be getting every month in the meantime.
Right.
So mathematically, that makes sense for me. And the other thing too is, I'm only 63. I'm healthy. In fact, I'm healthier now than I've been in a long time. I've lost about 15 pounds. Scuba diving. I walk everywhere. I hardly ever use 𝗏𝐿𝐴 or taxis. I walk everywhere. So the Playa del Carmen is like 30 block by 30 block area.
Yeah.
Pretty much walk.
Yeah.
Big advantage is to walk and to see everything too.
Yeah.
But back to the retirement part. Yeah, I just I've seen a lot of loved ones that have passed away now in their 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
And I just know that life is short, and while I'm still healthy, while I can still scuba dive and hike and travel, and my both legs are still good, why not go for it now? What's the worst case scenario?
You have to go back to work.
Go back to work. Guess what? I'm still hireable if I need to.
Yeah.
God forbid, but if I needed to, I could.
That's right. Yeah, so the same thing happened to me. I got forced into retirement early, and I did the calculus, and I figured it made sense. Now, I'm not old enough to take Social Security yet, so I had to make Vagabond Buddha work, and luckily it just started to work in May. Really, I mean, I was feeding the monster out of savings for a year and a half since my last contract ended.
I watched your programs where you showed how you gradually, over a period, started building up enough followers and enough income where you could really rely on it. You did it kind of methodically, but your whole thing actually, I was teasing off camera that this gentleman is much credit for my deciding to go for it, because there are so many places in the world that you can retire cheap. Now, right here at Playa del Carmen, by the way, folks, is not that place.
No.
You need about $2,000 to $2,500 a month to be comfortable here.
I'd have to agree with that.
Yeah. So other parts of Mexico, you'll save 15 or less, right? But depends if you have a lady or if you have a partner and so forth.
Yeah. And it depends how close to the city center you are, what part of the country you're in. But yeah, I mean, it's doable in Mexico at $1,500 a month, between $1,000 and $1,500. There are people that do it less. Many people do it more, but that's a range you could live at in many parts of Mexico. But this isn't one of them. Here in Tulum, you're going to break the bank, and we're really here for Christmas, to celebrate Christmas. This is the place I've been coming to since '92.
Nice. I'll be back just in time for Christmas. I'm coming back I'm going 2 weeks to the States to see my family.
Yeah, good.
I have 3 adult children, 5 grandkids. I'm going back to see them and my brother and sister. But the flights are cheap right now. In between.
Yeah.
We're not quite in the holidays. We're in between. We've got to fly right now. So
time to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. So your Social Security check, you figure there's places in the world where you can live for your monthly. Do you plan on having some savings in case something happens?
I do. I have a what I call a modest savings, and I've actually been able to keep that as there's a line there that I don't drop below that.
Okay.
So sometimes it's a little bit more, sometimes it's right there.
Right.
But I do have a reasonable logical figure in mind that I need to stay afloat.
Okay.
And I also know that if I can make it here so far, and I've had to spend more money than I anticipated, of course, that I can definitely make it with what I have. And it's cheaper to travel paradise places than you tell us about.
Yeah. This will be the high end for you. It's certainly Mexico. So. And what made you want to take that leap? Because first of all, when did you decide to take Social Security and when did you make that decision?
Well, it was right when the pandemic was just hitting, and I was furloughed off of work, like a lot of folks. And
that was this year?
That was this year.
Because of the pandemic?
Right around the end of March is when I was furloughed.
Okay.
And I would say during April, that whole month, I read a lot. I'm a big reader. I read a lot of, Napoleon Hill and motivational stuff about so forth.
Yeah.
But I also watched a lot of videos about life and about places to travel.
Right.
I've always had the travel bug. I have done quite a bit of travel myself. I lived in Indonesia for a while. I lived in the Bahamas for 4 years. Lived in the foreign country of New York City for 4 years, and Las Vegas, Nevada, which is another foreign country, right? So I've done a lot of traveling, and I just figured it mathematically was going to be okay, and I'm healthy enough, I can always go back to work.
Yeah.
So I figured while I'm still healthy, go for it. Retirement to me is kind of an inside joke. How many people are 65, 70 and on a wheelchair?
Right.
Or have a tragic situation with their health?
Another great book I read, I think it was around maybe 2010 or 2009, was a book called The 4-Hour Workweek. And in that book, Tim Ferriss talks about how you should take many vacations throughout your life. And this is a great opportunity to do it during something crazy like the pandemic here, where a lot of people are laid off from work. If they've got some money set aside, it's a good time to maybe go investigate some places around the world where you might be able to retire cheap, to see whether or not the kind of lifestyle you want to live you could afford to do, based on if you were to decide to take an early retirement. What's your price point? What would you need? Can you do it in that city, in that place?
And I'd like to say too, just for those that are thinking about doing this, because a lot of you are coming to Mexico, obviously. It's crowded here, it's high season. Is the whole thing about, Mexico's dangerous, and there's crime, and there's, the pandemic is out of control, and it's, I haven't experienced that at all. I've really, people are pretty respectful in restaurants and so forth, where they need to have masks overall. And I walk all the time. I walk late at night. I see ladies walking late at night. So is there no crime? Of course there is some. It's not, I would say I would feel more in danger in Las Vegas walking down the strip at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Or even Reno or California in the middle of the night. I would feel more unsafe there than I do here.
Honestly, all over Mexico I felt safe. I mean, I don't know why Mexico has such a bad rap when in the media and whatnot, but we just haven't found that to be the case.
I would say most people that give it a bad rap really haven't traveled very much. Yeah. 1 week with a bad experience at a resort or something. One of the things I know we talked about earlier, but I just wanted to mention, is that my main goal and purpose for the last 3 months has been scuba diving. And I already have my open water and my advanced, and now I have what's called an advanced, dive master. Right. Just got certified just the other day with that. So even though I don't plan on working, that's another avenue. Yeah. I could be a dive guide.
Yeah, of course. So do you see this, you've taken this leap, and do you see yourself trying to plant somewhere anytime soon, or do you see yourself traveling more and checking out the opportunities? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, while I have the opportunity, I've already experienced in Mexico, I do want to experience more of Mexico. A lot of the places that you've been, that I'm like, I gotta go there now. I gotta go there now. So Laredo and then where you're at in Oaxaca, there's a lot of places in Mexico still that I want to explore. Right. And even maybe down in South America. Yeah. But ultimately, I have to say I have a weakness for Asia. I've been to Thailand, and I lived in Indonesia for a year. Fiji, that part of the world. I really want to get back to Southeast Asia. That's where I see myself on a beach like this, much less crowded, with a lovely partner at some point when I'm ready for that again.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's where I see myself.
Qué bonitos, que no?
Perhaps the Philippines.
Yeah, so we loved it. We're in the middle of exploring the Philippines right now when the pandemic happened, and I had to go back to my
I'd love to get a beach house like you had. That was amazing.
Oh yeah,
the 𝗏𝗏 and everything. And that was, if I recall, it wasn't too off out of reach expense-wise.
Yeah, there was. We were in 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝐃, and there was a place we visited several times. You're referring to. It was lovely. Cuckoo's Nest is what it was called. We had a really good time. Great food. It was a private resort, so the beach was only other people, and it was lovely. When you're ready for that, it's there for you.
Well, I'm ready. It's when are they going to be ready for us to be able to come?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So, as soon as they open up, we'll probably explore here, maybe Dominican Republic, Central America.
That's on my radar also.
Yeah. I really like Guatemala. I like Nicaragua. I haven't been to Panama yet. I've been, all the way on down into South America. I really love also. All of Latin America is a lovely place. And so, I put it's fairly inexpensive and a nice place to visit. So.
As far as life, I feel I'm at a point where there's not a lot of mistakes right now. It's just another experience.
Yeah.
You go somewhere, you enjoy it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work out for you, you go somewhere else.
That's it.
Or just might add to your life.
And we have choices because we're older. We got a little bit of money coming in every month, right? And if we don't try to be big men on campus and blow all our money, and try to keep our savings there for emergencies, we have choices.
One of the things that I know you've done, and I really, the focus for me too, is immersing myself in the culture and with the local people.
Yeah.
There is a big expat population here in Playa del Carmen. That's what you're coming here for. You might as well just go to Miami.
Yeah.
Right? So most of my friends here are actually Spanish, and I am taking Spanish online twice a week, so I am forcing myself to finally learn the language, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
But I have Colombian and Mexican friends here, and those are the people that I see weekly.
And honestly, that's the interesting thing about travel. I call myself a slow traveler, and if you're a slow traveler, you're kind of educating yourself about the world, and you can't really do it hanging out with expats, and it's more expensive. The expats are trying to recreate home everywhere they go,
right?
Which means expensive restaurants, expensive alcohol, expensive places to stay. It's not really a way to either learn about a place or to keep your budget down.
It's quite expensive.
Yeah, it's really a great way to go and Playa del Carmen's not a place to do that.
Well, having said that, not too far. I'm only about 10 blocks off the beach here, and I did get my condo for 8,000 pesos.
Wow.
Which is just under $400 a month.
Wow.
And he has not raised the price.
Wow.
I got it back in pandemic times,
right?
In the end of August.
Wow.
And he's kept it there, and I pay on time, and he asked me how much longer I'm going to stay. It's been month to month.
So you're just going to keep it there and come back?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, there's nothing.
8,000 pesos is $400.
Exactly.
Right?
Anything close to mine right now is going to be 12,000 a month.
Oh, yeah.
I have AC included. I've got internet included. Really, television, electricity, water, everything is included.
It's included?
Yeah, everything is included. Well, absolutely. Now, I know there's going to be people that are going to be asking us, or you, hey, Bobbie, what's the name of the place, and where can I get that price? I'm sorry, even that place, if you were able to get in at this time of year, would probably be 10, 12,000.
Could be double or triple.
Yeah, so I can't really help you. And plus, the condos there are really, it's an Airbnb. It's a big condo with separate Airbnb's owners.
Is it a studio?
It is a studio. Okay. It is a studio, but it's pretty good size. I don't know what the square footage is. It also has a rooftop pool, barbecue, and so forth. So you need to do some shopping around.
Yeah, and
get lucky for sure.
And listen to what he's saying. You're not going to come here now.
No way.
Christmas season, you get that. I mean, and why? Because this is such a hot area of the world. But one of the other things I've learned about travel is you don't go in high season.
No.
And so you came in August, which is off season. It's hurricane season actually, and you were able to get a good deal. And by staying here, or if you had leased it for a year, maybe you would have been able to lock that place
I actually
in.
took your advice. I came here and I stayed in an Airbnb for 4 days.
Right.
During those 4 days, I looked around and walked around the area. Where do I want to be? Where is it in relationship to the beach, to the stores and so forth, the restaurants? And you know where I ended up? The very place that I went as an Airbnb. The guy on the next floor up was renting it for longer term, and I scored. I tell people around here that I got a place for 8,000 pesos, and tell them where it is and the quality, and they go, "You must be kidding! How'd you do that?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's thanks for sharing that. That's very important. So even with that though, the food is higher here than what?
Absolutely.
The grocery stores even notice is higher. So are you able to keep? What's your budget roughly?
Well, I told you I wasn't going to get too good with that, but my budget's a little bit out of control simply because when I came here, I needed to invest in scuba equipment.
Right.
That's got a lot of the equipment, but I think it's right around $1,500 to $1,800. But I think I've been a little bit in the party zone, not too much. I actually don't go out a lot. I eat local. I do go to the little taco trucks, and you can get tacos for 15 pesos, tacos and so forth. So I don't hang out at bars and spend $20, $40 a night at bars. One of the places I'm looking at right now is Tahiti. Actually, I looked at Tahiti this morning and said, no, come on, it's got to be too expensive. They have little hotels there for 18, 20 bucks a night.
Really?
In Tahiti.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
And the flight's not cheap.
I haven't been to Tahiti.
I haven't either. Yeah, well, Tahiti, the Maldives, and Dubai are 3 of the places that are open for Americans.
Right.
Without all the extra stuff.
Okay.
But Maldives, forget about it.
Yeah.
Dubai, they're too expensive.
Yeah.
But Tahiti, surprisingly, now you'll go look at it, right?
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, Bob.
Well, you've been an inspiration.
Appreciate it, Bob.
Your channel's an inspiration for me. I continue to follow it, and I encourage your followers to, or the people that are listening in, to don't be afraid to travel. Don't be afraid if you're thinking about retirement. Go for it.
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen? You can have a great time, wonderful experiences.
Yeah. Have a mini vacation.
Meet people like that.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Bobbie.
It's been my pleasure.
Click the link in the notes below this YouTube video to get a copy of all the resources described in this video and a free copy of my ebook, How I Fired My Boss and Traveled the World. And while you're there, check out our 80 Retire Cheap reports and the course that teaches you how to make money as you travel the world.